Hello friends, welcome to the tutorial for Microsoft Excel. I will be covering the beginner level Microsoft Excel, so don't worry if you do not have any prior experience of using MS Excel. You will get to know everything from this tutorial. The version which I'm using is Microsoft Excel 2016. If you want to know which version you are using, you can just go here in the account. In account, you will see the Office version is Microsoft Office Professional Plus 2016. If you want to know about the Excel version, just click here on About Excel and you will see in this first row Microsoft Excel 2016 32-bit. So this is where I clicked to launch this screen of MS Excel. So now we will click on New. So when you click on New, you will get multiple options. First option is to create the blank workbook. Other option is Excel gives us a lot of predefined templates. So if you see, there are a lot of nice templates which we can use. For example, this monthly company budget, academic calendar. So these are the predefined templates. If you want to search something very specific, you can search here for the online template. For example, I'll search for calendar. If I press enter, Excel will search a lot of online templates and I'll get so many templates which are related to the calendar. So if I click any one of them and click create, then Excel will open with this predefined template where I can just change the data and immediately start using it. So please take out some time to go through these templates. It will save a lot of time, but in today's tutorial I'll cover how to use or how to create the new Excel workbook. So I'll click here on blank workbook. So before we go into the details of MS Excel, first let us try to understand the layout of MS Excel. This area at the very top is called Quick Access Toolbar. From this toolbar, you can use the shortcuts and you can just have one click and execute that function. For example, if I want to print something, instead of going to File, Print and Print, I can directly go and click here and print my sheet. So you will save 3 clicks. Instead of going through 3 clicks, in 1 click only you will be able to print something. You can also customize this Quick Excel toolbar. When you click on this drop box, you will get a lot of options to customize, and you can add or remove whatever you want, or whatever you don't want you can remove from this. Now this area at the top is called the tabs. So we have Home tab, we have Insert tab, we have Page Layout tab, Formula tab, so on and so forth. Now under each tab you can see this section which is called the ribbon. So each tab has its own ribbon. So for example, for Formula tab we have this ribbon, for Page Layout tab we have this ribbon. Now each ribbon is divided into multiple sections. So we have themes, we have page setup, we have scale to fit, we have sheet options. So these are the multiple sections within one ribbon. Now we can see this small button which I can call the launch pad. So when I click here, I'll get more options from this section of page setup. So MS Excel tries to fit everything in one section. For example, themes, we do not get a launch pad because everything is covered in this one section. But in page setup, we have too many options which cannot fit in this particular section. So for that, we have this launch pad. We can click the launch pad and we can get more options. So this is what we call as ribbon. This area here is called as name bar. Why it is called the name bar? Because it has the reference of the row and column. Now before I explain the name bar, let me explain you about the row and column. So this area here, so this is what we call as a column. So this column B, column C, column D, column E, so on and so forth. This area here, like 1, 2, 3, so this is what we call as the row. And the intersection of a column and a row is called as the cell. So this cell is very powerful thing. With this cell, the Microsoft Excel can perform a lot of activities with the content within this cell. So when I click here, you'll see the name bar shows B3. So B3 is the address or the reference for this particular cell. So why it is B3? Because this is the intersection for the column and the row. If I click here, the name bar shows me E6 because the intersection of the column and the row is E6. So this is the significance of the name bar, or we can also call it as the cell address. Now this one particular cell, when we select multiple cells, that will become our range. So for example, I selected these 3 cells, so now I can see the range is E6 through E8. Or if I select these many cells, I will say my range is E6 through I13. So the range can be like this, the range can be these 2 cells, the range can be these cells within a row, the range also can be these cells within the column. So if we select more than one consecutive cell, that will become my range. So this is very important to understand the cell address, the range, because there are a lot of functions, a lot of formulas which we'll be working on using these cell address and these ranges. Now this entire area where we are working right now is called the workbook, and also the workbook consists of multiple sheets. So you can see here sheet 1. When you click on this plus sign, you can create more sheets. So you can create up to 255 sheets. So this is important to know. This entire thing is called a workbook, and these sheets are called either sheets or worksheets. Now since we have made the foundation clear, let us start working with creating the data within this worksheet. Now to make it little more interesting for you to see this, let us zoom this screen. So the way you can zoom is you can go to the view tab, you can click on zoom, and you can click here as 200%. Another way to zoom is you can see this little bit slider here. You can click plus and minus and you can set the percentage of zoom, or you can click here and you can again select zoom. So multiple ways to do the same thing. I think that this screen looks better for you to understand. So let us start creating the data. So we can create multiple data sets. For example, today we will create the home inventory data. So you can just look around your place and see what all things are available at your home, and we will just jot it down what is available in our home. So I'll just type home inventory. Now if you see, I typed home inventory in my A1 cell, but this home inventory spills over to my B. So nothing to worry about. The entire text which I typed in A1 will remain in A1. That will not actually spill over to the next column. This is just an illusion. But if you click on B, you will see there is nothing. If I click here on A1, I can see home inventory here in my formula bar. But if I click on B, I see nothing. So that proves there is nothing in B1. So nothing to worry about. This is not an issue. But still, if we want to fix it, we can do that. How we can do that is when we bring our cursor between these two columns, column A and B, you can see the shape of my cursor changed to double-sided arrow. So earlier it was like this, down arrow, but when I move it to right, when I bring the cursor in between two columns, the shape of the cursor changes. So as soon as the shape of cursor changes, you can just double click and this it will be automatically adjusted. You can also, when the shape of the cursor changes, you can also bring it to the left, or you can do this and you can adjust the size of your column. You can do the same thing with the row. You can adjust the width of your row. So this is how we can adjust the size of our cell. Now one interesting thing, when I press enter in this cell, my cursor will automatically come to the next row. So when I press enter, my cursor will go down. When I press shift enter, my cursor will automatically go up. Now if I want my cursor to go towards right, I'll press tab and it will go towards right. So multiple ways to do the same thing. Either you can do the mouse click and you can move your cursor wherever you want to do, or you can press the arrow keys of down, up, left, right, or you can press tab, you can press enter, you can press shift enter. But I would suggest to get used to the keyboard more than mouse, because when you're working with Excel, it is a lot easier to get used to the keyboard than the mouse. So okay, let us create the data now. So home inventory. Now under home inventory, I'll add category. I will add the name. I will add purchased on. I will add condition, and I will add value. So if you see again this purchased on, I cannot see the entire purchased on, so I will just double click here and automatically the width will be adjusted. So under category, I will include appliances. So under appliances, I have my refrigerator. I'll press enter. I have my microwave. I have my oven. Purchased on, I purchased my refrigerator last month, so I will enter November 2019. So we will cover how to work with the date format in the later session, but right now I'll just type like this. I have purchased my microwave in October. I have purchased my oven again in November 2019. The condition for my refrigerator is new, since I just purchased last month. The condition of my microwave is like new. The oven is new. Now the value I purchased the refrigerator was $950. The value I purchased my microwave is $70. The value of my oven is $350. So the same way I will also type the category of furniture. So I have my bed, I have my sofa, I have my chairs. So again I purchased everything in November 2019. So instead of typing again, I'll just press Ctrl C. I'll select the range. I'll press Ctrl V and copy my data here. So again the condition of everything is new. So either I can press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, or you can see the cursor shape changes here, and I can just drag this cell and my data will be copied. So again, multiple ways to do the same thing. We'll just get used to it. So bed, for example, I purchased in $400. Sofa I purchased in $500. Chairs I purchased for $100. So again, appliances, I can see the category is same for all the names. So I'll just drag appliances. It will be copied. Furniture also I'll drag. it will be copied. So you can see again the data I cannot see in full, so I'll just double click here. Rest everything looks to be okay. So now home inventory. So home inventory is my header, which is common for the entire table. So what we will do, we'll just select all the columns, the range again till from A till E. So I'll select it here, then I'll click here under home tab. Under alignment group, I have merge and center. So I'll just click merge and center. Now see, home inventory came in the center. Now I'll apply some style. So when I click here on cell style, I can create this as heading 1. So now we are working on little bit of formatting the table. So if you see now home inventory looks good. I can adjust the row by doing the double click. Now I can see full home inventory. Now under home inventory, again the category, the name, the purchased on, these are my headers. So I'll select this entire range. So multiple ways to do the formatting. I can do like this. I can click on B, so this will make the header as bold. I can click here to center, so the header will come in the center. Also one important thing is this is the center horizontally. I can also do the center vertically. So this is middle alignment. So my text will be middle aligned. I can again change the color of my header. So I'll click here. I can change the color to blue, or I can change to dark blue, but the font inside doesn't look good, so I'll change the font to white. So this looks good. So this is one way to do the formatting, or another way is select this range, click on cell styles, and I can just do the formatting from here. So again, we can do the formatting in multiple ways. Now we can see this data is actually in the form of table, but this doesn't have border, so it doesn't look good. So I'll select the range from A3 till E8. I'll give them some borders. So I'll click here, click all borders. So this entire thing came in one tabular format. One more thing, we see this value. So 950, 70. Now it doesn't signify if this value is in dollars, in US dollars, or in euros. So we will format the value as well. So I will select the entire range of values. The simple way to do the formatting is click here. It will automatically give the US dollars to my value. Also it will add the decimal places. We can see we have got 2 decimal places. Now instead of US dollars, also when I click here, I can give Canada US dollars, or Canada dollars US dollars, or I can give United Kingdom Euro Chinese, or you can select multiple. So here I'll select the United States dollar, and I have got this value also formatted. So a few more interesting formatting things. Now we can see the font for my home inventory is Calibri 15. The font for my header is again Calibri 11. The font for my record within the table is also Calibri 11. So I want to have the header as a separate font just to make it look more interesting. I can click here on my font. I can see there are so many options to select from. We can select whatever we like. For example, I'll select Bernard. So see, this looks a lot more interesting. I can also select something like this, Bastin. So this looks more fancy. Now to fix the size of these columns, so one way I told you, just to double click here, But instead of doing it for each and every column, I can select all the columns at once, and I can just do double click between any of the column, and it will fix the size for all the columns. So I can apply the formatting. If I don't like this formatting and I want to keep the one which I earlier had, I'll just press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, so it will come back to my earlier formatting. If I want to again change the formatting to what I had changed earlier, I'll press Ctrl Y, Ctrl Y, Ctrl Y. That will give me the new formatting again. So Ctrl Z is to undo the action, Ctrl Y is to redo the action. Now under appliances also, if I want to change the formatting or change the font for these records, I can, for example, I'm making a Calibri light. I'll do this like this. Now instead of changing the formatting for the entire range, one more way to apply the formatting to the entire table, I'll select the first row. I'll click here on the format painter. Then I select the range where I want to apply this formatting. See, the formatting from row number first, the third row is applied to the entire table. So there are a lot more ways to do formatting. For example, my refrigerator doesn't seem good. I'm typing refrigerator number 1. I have two refrigerators from I'll type refrigerator number 1. It doesn't fit in my column and I don't want to change the size of the column. So I can also do wrap text here. When I click wrap text, it will come like this. Then I can just adjust it little bit, adjust my row, and here we go. We got refrigerator number 1. So I made this change just to show you the another feature of MS Excel is to wrap the text. When we don't want to extend the column, we can wrap the text so that everything can fit in the size which I have selected. So there are a lot of more options to do the formatting. There are a lot of other functionalities to work with the date format. Also, there are a lot of formulas, functions, which we'll be covering in the future lecture. So thanks for joining me in this fundamental beginner level MS Excel tutorial. I'll be creating more sessions like this, but the support I need from you is to subscribe my channel, to like my video. That will keep me motivated to make more videos like this. Thank you very much.